Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Latina Marie. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to hit that subscribe. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Latina Marie. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about DMV cars and driving, the life of the road for Las Vegas. I wanted to do a separate video about driving in the DMV and all of that here in Las Vegas because it's very different than Michigan. And I know that I have a couple people from Michigan that watch these videos. So this is really geared towards you guys because I know the rules and kind of what you have to go through in order to get a car registered and everything in Michigan. Everywhere else, I'm not sure, but if your rules are kind of the same as Michigan's, then this would benefit you. If your rules are kind of the same as Las Vegas, then this will just give you a heads up that you're kind of going to just be going through the same thing as you have always been going through. So first, I want to talk about the driving here in Las Vegas. I know this is really brief. This is more of for me to just rant and get this off my chest. People cannot drive here. I want to say it's ridiculous. Because you have so many people that are from so many different places here in Las Vegas, it's like a melting pot. You have people from all over the country who have learned how to drive in 50 different ways on one road. And it's kind of the same thing in California. You just have so many people from so many different places coming to one road, and the driving is just ridiculous because you follow the rules from where you're from. And not that driving all over the country is that much different, but it is. You start to realize how different it is. Some people just even if you've lived in the same place all your life, for instance, a lot of my friends went through driving school. I did not. I waited until I was 18 and I just took the test and got my license. That was easier and cheaper for me. My older brother is the only one who went through the class. So I guarantee if he and I sat down to talk about how we drive, or if we went on the road together, our driving would be a little different just because you're given more details and you're giving more explanations when you go through the class than you are when you take the time to read the book and take the test. Because I'm going to be honest, I just read the book well enough to be able to pass the test. And there's nothing wrong with that, but my brother got a better benefit of how to drive than I did. But I don't care. I probably would have flunked the class because I don't like sitting through class. I hate taking tests. And driving is pretty, it's pretty basic. It's pretty understandable, like common sense. You don't turn when, it's a lot of things. So the reason that this is bothering me today is because I went somewhere today and I was on my way home and there was this left turn. And the lady that was in front of me just decided she was going to, she took off to take her left turn, but then she just decided she was going to stop, in the middle of her turn. I don't know if there was something down the street going on or what, if she was paying, I don't know what was going on, but there was, how there's two left lane turn lanes in some places, some areas. So there's two lanes turning left and she just stops. Now, had there been only one lane, there's really nothing I could have done, but had there been nobody in the other lane, I could have gotten over, but it was busy this morning and she just decided to stop in the middle of her turn. And I'm just like, what are you doing? What? And there was construction going on the street that we were all turning onto, but it wasn't in her way. It wasn't for her to stop. It just didn't make sense to me. Sorry, but I just had a sudden urge to just go take a whiz. But anyway, but yeah, it made no sense. I couldn't understand why she did that. So it just started making me think about how ridiculous the driving is out here and how bad it is. So that's just something to think about. I mean, there's bad driving everywhere. Nobody's a perfect driver. I understand all that, but oh my gosh. And then when the construction is happening out here, and it seems like every year they're doing construction in the same spots at the same time. And it's like, what are you doing? The roads have not gotten any better. I don't understand, but yeah, that's just something to think about, and I needed to rant about it really quick. But something that's really important. So, when you move to another state, after so long, you definitely have to think about getting a license and, or license to that state. I got mine the year that we moved here because the job that I had required that I have a state license. I couldn't work with my Michigan license. My husband was able to get his job with his Michigan license and has had his Michigan license until it expired. And it expired earlier this year, so he recently just got his Las Vegas ID. I don't know if that is illegal. I don't know if he could get in trouble for that. I don't know anything about that. So I know if you Google it, it says that you after 30 days are required to get state ID wherever you move to, but who's paying attention? He got a job with the license that he had, so it didn't matter. But when you get a license here, they require some really outlandish things, like because I was married, they required that I had my marriage license. I've never needed my marriage license in Michigan when I was renewing my license, or when nothing, like they've never asked me for, like, I don't even know why that matters. It's my license. Like, he's not going to be using my license, so it didn't make sense to me why I needed that. Let me check something real quick. It doesn't even say on here that I'm married or not. I thought maybe it did and I just never noticed, but it doesn't. It doesn't say. The only reason I could think of them needing my marriage license is I don't know. Because my birth certificate says a different last name on it, but that's to be expected. And the thing is, I've already gone through changing my name on all of my documents. So if I'm giving you all my documents that have my married name, and my birth certificate is the only thing that has my maiden name on it, wouldn't you think, like, yeah, she clearly is married, or, you know, she went through the proper channels to do whatever she had to do. So that was weird. I had to order my marriage license because my marriage license had gotten lost, and so I had to order a new one, which just was ridiculous. It was unnecessary, and I didn't think that was something I was going to need. So it ended up taking me a little longer to get my marriage license than I wanted it to. And they tried to order it for me. They were like, we can order it for you. It'll be $78. $78 for a piece of paper to be mailed to you. And it probably won't even be mailed. It'll probably be emailed to you and you can print it off yourself. Which just, like, I don't know. So that was something that I needed to get my license. You need proof of address stating that you've been somewhere for 30 days. So that needs to be kept in mind, that you cannot get a license until you've been here for 30 days. So I didn't know that when we moved here. And if I had known that, I definitely would have moved here with a little more money. But I mean, that wouldn't have changed our circumstances. Everything that happened with us still would have happened the way that it did, whether I knew that or not. But that is something that people need to know, because I know that a lot of people have been leaving comments in my comment section asking about jobs. And some jobs do require that you have a state license or a state ID for Las Vegas or for Nevada. And you have to be here at one address for 30 days in order to get a license, which again, I feel like is unnecessary or unfair, but it is that way. In Michigan, you have to show proof of address, but I don't think that it has to say that you've been there for 30 days. I'm not sure. In Michigan, your license expires in 4 years. Here, it expires in 8 years. So you don't have to go through the process as often. You get to double the time, which is great, because that is something that I definitely don't want to have to deal with. But my time is coming up soon, because I've been here for almost 4 years. Well, almost 3 years. But yeah, mine expires in 2024. So in 4.5 years, I will have to do this again. But hopefully we won't be here in 4 years. What's another thing that you need? You need 2 forms of ID. So your current license, you need your social security card. That is not a form of ID for them. So I don't know what other form of ID. Like it took me a while to get my license, because it was like I went to the DMV to let them know that I needed my license. And at the front desk, well, the way that it was set up at the time, I will tell you how it is set up now. But at the time when I went, it was set up that you go in, you talk to the front desk or whatever, front people, and they make sure that you have everything you need before you can go sit down with someone, and they take care of what you need, like payments and stuff like that, and where they'll direct you to take pictures and whatever. So I get to the front desk and she's telling me I need all this stuff, and I pretty much had everything except for my marriage license and I was missing one other thing. Oh, proof of address. I had taken a piece of mail thinking that that was going to work, but it didn't. So, so I had to go home and get, at the time I was staying at a different Siegel's, and I had to get from them something stating that I had been there for more than 30 days. I get there and this lady can't read, because this was October. I started my job October 17th, so it was like the week before. So October whatever, and the paper said that I had been there since August 26th, to be exact. I know that for a fact. It said August 26th. August, September, October. That is well over 30 days. I get there, I give it to her, and she's like, this isn't good enough. You haven't, or this isn't going to work. You haven't been there long enough. And I'm like, what? And she's like, you've only been there for 2 weeks. I'm trying to figure out what the heck she's looking at. What, like, she was dead ass. Like, she was not going to let me go through. And I'm like, this says August 26th. Are you not aware of what today's date is? And she's like, yeah, it's October or whatever. It was like October 1st or something like that, because I remember her saying that she could reschedule for me. She could schedule a time for me to come in, and it was going to be October 8th. And I was like, no, I need this done like yesterday. And she was like, but this isn't going to work. You haven't lived here long enough. And I'm like, lady, please look at this. I don't know what, the lady don't work there no more. I haven't seen her since then. So she must have been making this mistake with a lot of people. But yeah, so it took me a while to get it. Just, they are really on you. They make sure that you need everything that you need. They make sure you have everything that you need, which is good when you think about it, because it's like, who wants to get all the way up to the line and then figure out that they need something else? But at the same time, if they would just answer the phone, nobody would have to waste time driving out there. And that's why the DMV is always so busy, because people are just out there, like, basically looking for questions instead of them having phone people. Like, they should have an area where people are just answering the phone for the DMV, so that people don't have to drive out there like that. Because I believe you can contact the Secretary of State. So in Michigan, there's no DMV. DMV is what? What is that? Never heard of it. you do everything through the Secretary of State. You renew your license through the Secretary of State. You take your driver's test, everything through the Secretary of State. You register your car, all of that through the Secretary of State. And you can call the Secretary of State and get answers that you need. So I don't have to go all the way to the Secretary of State and find out, oh, I needed this too, because nobody answered the phone. You know what I mean? Like, this is a big city. That should be common sense for them to understand that people don't want to just drive out somewhere and have to wait in line for hours. Sometimes you can be at the DMV all day. Like, when you have to go to the DMV, it's best to go on a day that you have absolutely nothing to do, because you can be there all day. Even if you are first in line, you could end up being there all day. I don't know how, why, it just happens, and it sucks. It sucks. But sometimes you can come and be like the last person in line and get out before everybody else. I don't know what they're doing back there. I don't know how they're running this. They have cleaned it up a little bit. They rebuilt the building and restructured everything. So it does work and move a little smoother than it did when I first got here, which was 3 years ago. So in 3 years' time, they have made some better adjustments and made things better. But I don't understand this not being able to call and ask questions thing. They don't tell you prices on anything. You can go to their they'll direct you to the website for everything. Even if you call, they'll direct you to the website. As if the website has answers or something, when it doesn't. I tried to figure out how much my license was going to cost me, and I just had to go blind. And like that, like, what if I am on a budget and I don't know how much my license is going to cost me, because nobody knows. I mean, you could ask people who have paid for it, but it's been 3 years since I got my license. I don't remember how much I paid. I think it was $45, which is a ridiculous price for a license, because in Michigan it's only $25. I don't understand, like, the pricing and stuff. Everything that works out here is so much crazier than it is from Michigan. But I promise you, you get used to it really fast. Even though it's frustrating, you do get used to it really fast, and you just understand that it's unorganized and unorthodox. It's not what you would think. It's not normal at all. But I do feel like they're getting better. I think they're trying. I think they're understanding that the way that they were running things just does not work. In Michigan, you go into since what I remember, you go into the Secretary of State, and this is in Grand Rapids, so I should probably say in Grand Rapids, not Michigan. But in Grand Rapids, you go into the Secretary of State, and you go through a line, and you tell them what you're there for. They tell you, or they ask you if you have everything you need for whatever you're there for. So let's say that you're there to get your license. They want to know that you have a proof of address. They want to know that you have, like, if you're first time getting your license, they want to know that you have the paper that said you passed your test and that you can go on to get your license. What else do you need? You don't need proof of address, because of course it would be the first, or not proof of address. You don't need, I don't think you need identification, 2 forms of identifications. You need your social security card. So whatever you need, they ask you if you have them. They go through that with you. If you have everything you need, they give you a number and you go sit down. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they have changed. That's how it was from what I remember. But if I'm not mistaken, they changed it to your phone number, where they call like the last 4 numbers of your phone number or something like that. Or they give you a number and they take your phone number and let you know how long it'll be before your number is called or something like that. I know that they've incorporated your phone number in there somewhere, somehow, from the last time I was there. And it runs really smoothly. So you go sit down and you wait for your number to be called. Now, if you're there for something like, license again, and you don't have something, and it's something that is, like, if you don't, okay, you going to renew your license and you don't have forms of ID, and you tell the lady, well, I'll still just wait in line anyway. And then your number gets called, and then you go up there and they tell you, well, no, I absolutely need you to have these forms of IDs. Oh, no. I mean, and I guess that works too. They'd say you absolutely need these forms of IDs. And it's like, okay, they will give you a piece of paper and stamp it, and it says returning. You go home, you do what you have to do, get what you need or whatever, you come back, and there's a specific line for people who are returning. But it says the date on it too, so you have to return in that day. That is the most convenient thing ever. They don't have anything like that here. So like one time I went to renew my license, and I am required to drive with glasses, and I did not have my glasses with me. I have to have my glasses on in my well, in Michigan I did. I had to have my glasses on in my picture so that if I get pulled over, they know that I'm supposed to be wearing glasses. And I didn't have them with me, and I had to leave. She gave me a returning. I came back with my glasses and took care of everything. I didn't have to wait in line again. When I was here and I didn't have my proof of address, the paper that I needed from the Seagulls, I had to get back in line. Do you know how ridiculous it is? And that's how you end up being there all day. All day. It's ridiculous. Las Vegas needs to come up with a returning line or something. They need something, because you forget something, you just got to go through this whole process all over again. It's crazy. So needless to say, the DMV is a crazy process. Just be prepared and understand and know that you may get really frustrated, and it's normal and to be expected. So when registering a car in Michigan, you just buy a car. Yeah, make sure you got the title signed by whoever needed to sign it. Take it to the DMV. You pay for what you need to pay for. You get it registered, and you're good to go. Here, oh, and you have to make sure you have insurance before you can get it registered. Here, you buy the car. You make sure it's signed by, the title is signed by whoever it needs to be signed by. You make sure you have your insurance. Then you get it smogged. I had no idea what this meant. I still don't know what it means. I know it's like to make sure that there's like no pollution or something, or like to make sure your car is not hazardous to accidents or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what smog is. But it's everywhere. And I remember when we moved here, I kept seeing smog everywhere. And I was like, what is that? What is that? And then we bought a car, and I went to go get the car registered, and they're like, no, it's got to be smogged. And I'm like, what is that? Nobody can explain it to me. It's got to be smogged. So basically, if your car fails a smog test, you cannot get it registered. And our car did. I paid $1,300 for this van, and it could not pass a smog test. I had to get repairs done to it before I could get it smogged, and it's just money on top of money on top of money. So a smog test is about $18 to $21, and it's just ridiculous. I had never heard of smog before. I think it's the dumbest thing ever. I think people should have the right to drive on a car however they want to. Maybe it's for your safety, maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't see the point in the safety of it, because I had a bad what is it? I can't even think of what it's called now. But it just let me know when I was on ice or whatever. It had a sensor. It had a bad sensor that needed to be replaced, which was $600 that I had to take care of. That if I didn't need the car smogged, I could have taken care of that on my own time. I could have bought the part myself and found someone to take care of it, or my husband and I could have figured out how to fix it ourselves. But because we needed the car, this was recently, the car that we just bought, but because we needed a car, we had to dish out $600 to get it fixed. And it's just like, it's an inconvenience to have to take care of repairs when the city wants you to take care of the repairs instead of when you can afford to take care of the repairs. I could have afforded to pay for the car, get it registered, and then go and take care of the repairs later. But Las Vegas felt like I needed to take care of the repairs right away, even though it's like, I don't know. So those are some things that you just need to think about when you are moving to Las Vegas. I know some people in Chicago were saying that they do smogs there. They definitely do smogs in California. I'm pretty sure they do it in Arizona and like big cities. I don't know about not California. I don't know about New York. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that they don't do that in New York, but I don't know. It was something that I had never heard of before, and I think it's the dumbest thing ever. I don't think it helps anybody. I think it's just another way to make sure that you're dishing out money when you don't need to. I think it's another way for the city to make money, and it's unnecessary. There's already so many things that have to be paid for, and the jaywalking fees out here are just absolutely ridiculous. I think there's enough things that have to be paid to the city for consequences, that how you take care of your car just should not be one of those things. And it's almost like it's to make sure that people aren't buying cars from each other. They'd rather you just buy cars from a car lot, because there are tons of car lots here. And you should, when you buy a car from a car lot, you should pass the smog. Like, it's like automatic. And if I didn't, I would have an issue. But I think that's the point, to kind of drive people to get a car from the car lot instead of buying them from people and things like that, like off of Craigslist and stuff like that. But you can't control people like that. You can't control how people are going to pay for a car or what they're going to do with it and things like that. So I don't know. There's a lot to consider when it comes to that part of moving out here. And I definitely wish I had known that, and I wish people would have talked about it. I don't think anybody has ever talked about the registering of a car and the DMV situation. I don't think I've seen that on YouTube. And I did talk about it once before when I had my other channel, and I think a lot of people did appreciate the conversation, but this time I'm a little more now, like, I have a little more knowledge about it than I did before. It was fresh then, so it did help that I knew exactly what I was going through at the time, whereas right now I haven't been through it in a while until I just bought this car. And yeah, we had to dish out almost $700 to get the car fixed. And it sucks that, you know, because we knew what was wrong with the car. We knew that it had the bad sensor, which is not a big deal. That's not going to cause an accident if this sensor is going wrong. Now, if it was like causing the car to shut off and do a bunch of stuff that a car just shouldn't be doing, then yes, I understand. But it wasn't doing that. And to be honest, I don't think anybody would be driving a car that's doing that, even if they're getting it registered and stuff. You know, some people just want to buy a car and get it registered and taken care of, and then they want to fix it up themselves when they can afford to do that, or when they want to do that, and the city is just causing or forcing you to do something when they want you to. And I don't really like that, but I can't really change that. I don't know how long that's been a law, and apparently this is not the only city that does that. I won't say I know, I've heard that if you go to Mesquite here in Nevada, they don't smog. So you could register your car there. but you'd have to get like a P.O. box or something and have mail sent there for a while before you could do that. But I mean, there's ways around everything, so that's just a little tip. I don't know if it's true. You could definitely look into that. So, but yeah. But that is the road and life of driving here in Las Vegas. If I missed anything or if I was all over the place, I truly do apologize. I don't appreciate it. I apologize. I hope I answered some questions that people may have had in their minds. And yeah, I hope I got some things across. I hope this message got to somebody that it needed to get to. If, again, I was all over the place, I truly do apologize. I have a lot of things going on in my head. I didn't write anything down. I just knew that I wanted to talk about that today, so I did. And yeah. If you guys like this video, let me know with a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that button. Don't forget that I am running a giveaway right now on my channel. It ends on the 11th of April, and the winner will be announced on the 12th. It is a $50 gift card to Target. If you would like to be entered into the giveaway, all you have to do is be subscribed to my channel and make sure that you are following me on Instagram, and you are qualified to be a contestant of that giveaway. I love you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.